Seriously, the hype train is so much, even OBS was struggling to keep up. We did in fact drop several frames there, so there was some stutter, I am afraid. The trailer itself was too much for OBS to handle. Yes, it was. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jellymen. And welcome to my Witcher 3 preview questions and answers session. It doesn't roll off the lips, does it? I should have prepared some amazing intro speech and practiced it, but I didn't. Welcome to Witcher 3 talk. There you go. Job done. So, now, here is how this is going to run. Tonight, I am going to be reading some of your questions a little later on. And I am going to be perhaps answering a few of them, and probably ignoring the vast majority of them. Some because I'll miss, and some because they'll almost certainly be about beards. Now, I will answer some questions about beards, almost certainly. However, I will also be giving away some Witcher 2 copies. And how I've decided to do this is to actually use something that's built into Moobot, because I know you guys love and adore Moobot. I know you do. But apparently it's got a built-in raffle system. So that's the sensible way to do it. So to test it out, are you buffering? We can't be buffering anymore. No, we've not had any more drop frames. It was just the trailer that was killing OBS. It was the trailer. So we have got a raffle system, and we're going to start by testing the bloody raffle system because I'm not totally sure if it's working. So I'm going to give away the first copy of The Witcher 2, courtesy of CD Projekt Red or GOG. So, first of all, I open a raffle. The raffle has entries in it. Do you want to restart the raffle? Yes! Thank you. Okay. That was nice music, wasn't it? You guys, the soundtrack for this game is awesome. Really is. It's phenomenally good. You've heard some of it in my videos. It's absolutely... I hope CD Projekt Red don't mind me using this music as background. I wouldn't have thought so. Anyway, so now, if you want to enter... Well, you've already seen. If you want to enter the raffle to win... Okay, why do I even bother telling you these things? As we can see, 5,000 words, the raffle whiz past. I do hope you're not going to break Twitch. I really do. So, please don't type it in more than once because it only enters you once. Please tell me it only enters you once. If it enters you twice, I'm not doing this again. Because I am really seriously worried you're going to break Twitch now. I'm going to be getting a knock on the door from CD Projekt Red going, "Excuse me, we'd like to discuss the use of our music," followed by, "Oi, it's Twitch here. What if you don't know our bloody servers, mate?" Really? Is it never going to end? There's this many of you who've not got Witcher 2. Really? You're all here to hear me answer questions about Witcher 3, and this many of you have not played Witcher 2. Shame. Shame. Okay. Good question to start with there. Do you anticipate The Witcher 3 getting high review scores? I'm going to answer that one. We're out of order because I'm going to do some other things before this. We're going to test this, then I'm going to do some speaking, then you're going to do some questions, but I'm going to answer that one. Yes. Currently, from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to get very good reviews. Unless it's by people who hate The Witcher. Then why the hell are they reviewing Witcher is beyond me. But anyway, so, here we go. Do you think have we finished? I'm sorry, I have Witcher 2 and got swept into the raffle hype. Okay. Fair enough, thank you for admitting that. However, if you do win the raffle and you already own it, please either tell me or give the code away to someone who doesn't. Okay? And from now on, please people, just put it in if you don't have it. Okay. So, it would seem I'm going to be closing the raffle any second. How do I do it? Do I close it first? I close the raffle and then draw. The raffle is closed. The raffle is closed. Unraffle. Can you unraffle? I have no idea. But the raffle is closed. So, we're now going to draw the raffle. And it says, okay, right, now I have to, oh god. Welcome, resub, Sunlit Karma, hello. Right, now, if I'm getting this right, we're about to see how badly I fail at this. But, I'm going to announce the winner in chat. There you go. Moobot says Dead Marowak has won the raffle. Congratulations, Dead Marowak. Oh. Welcome, Omega's Words. So, and now I get a nice little button that says, right, private message on Twitch to Dead Marowak. Congratulations. And then I'll just send in. Right, and I'm sending you, it's a link. I think you go there, you click it, you fill it out. You'll figure it out. If you can't figure it out, you don't deserve to play Witcher 2. Trust me, you're probably going to die a lot if you can't figure out the link. Okay? It is on its way to you right now. Not quite. Sending right now. There you go. It's on its way. There you go. So, done. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? It seems to work. It did seem to work, didn't it? Yay! I know, I'm such a Twitch noob. I really am a complete noob at this. I know, I'm totally... Virtuo Soul, welcome. So, what was I talking? D-Base 666, welcome. I'm getting distracted by multiple things. I'm trying to do 3,000 things at once here. I need to hire an assistant, don't I? I need an assistant to sit here and just press buttons for me because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So. Raffle only enters once, no matter how many times it's used, and it isn't going to break Twitch or MooBot. Thank you very much, Ventic. Ventic says we're fine, we've not broken Twitch. So, there you go. The only thing that's going to be showing on the screen, I think, for a while is just, you know, the video that I made, or one of the copies of the videos I made, plus the chat, so you can see what I'm trying to read through, just to make life difficult. So, here we go. We've tested the raffle out successfully. Yay, us. Gopher, you're out of your depth, mate. You need more mods to assist you ASP. Quick, PCAT, start your own raffle thing. We're going to raffle for mods. No. Okay, so, there seems to be some yes, I have to admit, I do notice that the video is buffering. I have noticed. Let's see if I can... It might be something to do with the resolution I'm sending it through. That could be it. And let me just change... see if this is better. It probably won't be. See this on the fly editing. Oh, unfortunately, it goes right back to the start when I do that. I'm now sending slightly less pixels. Who knows? It's probably still going to stutter. It's probably still going to stutter. We'll get over it. Or that could also be because those videos I'm streaming across my own local network. Yeah, that was stupid, wasn't it? Considering I'm also flooding up the network. Whatever. We're not really watching the video. That's there for eye candy. That is literally there for eye candy. So, here we go. First things I want to talk about are mods and redkit. And the reason I want to talk about that is because you may not have realised it, but I'm slightly interested in mods. For those of you who are new to my channel, that is my main thing. And I suspect there's a few people here who may be joining for the first time. So mods and me are a thing. Okay, we're an item. We've got a bit of history going on. I actually make quite a lot of mods. I have mods for Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas. I have mods for Fallout 3. To think about it. I'm thinking about it and also thinking of changing the video because it is actually a little stuttery, isn't it? How about that one? That one's stuttery as well. Oh god, that's even worse. That's even worse. It's terrible. We could just leave the logo up and we don't have any fancy video playing. I don't know. Will you make beard mods? No. Right, so. Now we've established I am a bit of a mod maker and I cover mods in my videos. So of course, with The Witcher 3 and modding is of special interest to me. So, let's have a red kit. I will show you what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, there is a red kit at the moment for Witcher 2. And we're all kind of hoping that we're going to get the same sort of a thing for Witcher 3, and here's the thing. I constantly annoyed the living daylights out of the people there asking this question, and they didn't want to go on record saying anything. They didn't want to answer the question directly. So I'm going to read between the lines here and tell you what they were kind of saying. And if I get it wrong, I apologize in advance. Right now, modding is not their primary focus. Big surprise, right? Not their major focus. They're absolutely, totally and utterly focusing on getting the game out. Getting the game out. That is literally, you know, number one. So, the red kit is slightly low priority at the moment. They don't have a firm plan, or at least not one that they were willing to share with me. However, whilst they don't have a firm plan for it, everyone I spoke to was very positive about modding. They were saying things like, we're kind of looking forward to seeing what people can make with The Witcher 3 and the red kit. So this is a hint that it's coming and they're keen on it, and they would like the modding community to, you know, jump on The Witcher 3, but they're not willing to commit on a timeline. That is my best understanding of it. They don't have an official stance yet, and nobody would give me an estimate of when they thought it was out. I did get a very brief look at some of the tools they were using to develop, and I asked, is it going to be based upon these tools, like a cut-down version or a user-friendlier version? And I think the answer was, yeah, pretty much. So it does look like there's going to be modding. And from the look of what they're saying on the red kit for Witcher 2, there doesn't seem to be any area that's just automatically, obviously out of bounds. They talk about, I mean, here's the blurb. The red kit is the best way to craft big and living worlds, shape environments using intuitive tools, and adapt them to your needs. So if we're talking about world building, then we're already, you know, we're already on our way. Let's have a bit of music. So, I am quietly positive about the chances of the red kit and us being able to mod. Beyond that, I can't give you any firm details. And you know me, you know I asked it 3,000 times, to the point where I think they were going to slap me. So I stopped asking. Oh, and can I just say right off the bat right now, before we go on to the questions you guys are going to have for me, I know one of the questions is going to be, so did they tell you about Cyberpunk 2077? No, we didn't ask, but we were told there was a certain floor we were not allowed to go on, and we all knew why and cracked jokes about it. And, you know, they're not going to talk about it. They're not talking about Cyberpunk 2077. If you don't know what that game is, go Google it now and get a little excited. So there you go. Do I have any ideas for mods in mind already? Ooh, honestly, no. I've not even thought about it. Oh, actually, I'm a liar. I am a terrible, terrible liar and should be slapped. There you go. Yes, I do have some ideas for mods already, and guess what they're for? User interface. The heads-up display, I would like more options to turn things off, on and off. So, yeah. I would like to move things like the health of the enemies from floating above them to somewhere at the bottom of the screen or top of the screen, similar to Skyrim. I'd like the information like that to be available, but not floating on top of the opponent. You guys know me and user interfaces and heads-up displays. I don't like to think of the heads-up display as being part of the world. I like it to be separate, I like it to be unobtrusive, and something I deliberately go off and check. So if it was down at the bottom so I could just glance quickly and think, oh, he's looking weak, that's how I want it. If it's floating above his head, I'm not too keen on it. So that would be one of the areas I would be thinking of modding, or poking someone else and hoping they mod. So there you go. How customizable is the heads-up display? Good question. Related. You can turn off a few things, and you can set things like whether you want big icons, small icons, and that type of thing. I can't remember if you could set the transparency. I actually did. I didn't play around with that much. You can turn the health floating above their heads off, and it's very immersive. Obviously, it's a lot harder to figure out which of your opponents are weaker, which ones you've already hit, but that's good. However, if you need to lock on to your targets, if you want to lock onto them, it's a little easier to do with the bar above the head, because that also has their lock-on icon, and if you turn it off, the lock-on icon turns off as well. So you can figure out which one you're locked on eventually as you turn to face him, or you hit it and he goes and hits him. But it's obviously a little easier with the heads-up display on. So there you go. Anyway, so let's have a look at some of the questions that are... Oh my god, right. Yeah, there's a lot of them appearing. So I heard the beards grow. Is that true? Yes. My beard did not grow that long, but apparently the beards grow. I can tell you get a shave at one point. I do not know for sure whether or not you can get a shave after that, but I believe so. How long does the beard grow? Apparently long enough for the physics to begin to take into effect. I actually asked, will there be physics on the beard if you grow it long enough? And they did seem to suggest yes. I think this is probably... I mean, I don't know if you're going to need NVIDIA hair physics, and you might, to get that. I don't know. In my video, whenever you saw the hair, you were looking at it without the hair physics enabled. If you go and look at, I think it's Jesse Cox's recent video, he turned the hair physics on, and it makes a huge difference. It looks amazing, even on Geralt actually. It looks pretty damned amazing. If you've got the machine for it, you're going to want... I mean, you can see now on screen, you can see some beards, you can see some hair physics, and you can see the hair physics on Geralt. With NVIDIA hair physics turned on, those would be nicer. How long your beard has to be before that starts to happen, I don't know for sure. So, those were questions from Gale Force Gaming and DeBarry Boy. Okay. How did the Witcher Sense feature feel? Do you think it could be overused? This is a good question. This is by L Deluxed. Now, the Witcher Sense in, say, number 2 was more like your Medallion. You used your Medallion, but you stopped, you used it, and it pulsed out. It was something you kind of have to keep tapping. Whereas the Witcher Sense in Witcher 3 is something you hold, and you can hold it and keep it down. Do you think it could be overused? Yes and no. The problem with overusing it is it tends to dilate the whole world. It makes everything blurred. It tends to tunnel vision you a lot, so you've got less vision at the sides. It will reveal things. It will show you footprints. It will show you clues. It will highlight lots of different things. It will obviously help you find monsters. And the way it helps you find monsters is really pretty cool. You see sound bubbles near the monsters. It's pretty damn cool, actually. Reminds me a little bit of Mark of the Ninja. So yes, it's very, very powerful. It's your Witcher Sense. It's your Witcher Sense. It's supposed to be powerful. Will you be pressing it and running around like that? I doubt it. You certainly won't want to fight that way. You won't want to have conversations that way or wander around villages. I think you're going to use it when you want to have a look around, when you want to apply your Witcher Sense, and then turn it off. This is my opinion. I don't think you will want to overuse it. Danatiel, you stated that enabling NVIDIA Hairworks makes FPS drop by a significant amount, yet on some gameplay videos, for instance Angry Joe, you don't see any huge performance hits, and you can clearly see that the video Hairworks is on. Of all the invited YouTubers and guests, we're playing with one GTX 980, so what is the deal with that? The deal with that is I summoned my horse and put a griffin's head totem on him. You know me. You know me. if I'm going to test something out, I'm going to push it. Right. If you turn the hair physics on and just run around with Geralt, you'll probably be alright with a 980, although you will drop below 60 frames a second occasionally, almost certainly. If your horse comes into the frame, you'll get a bit more of a drop, obviously, because the horse has got quite a lot of hair. If you stick the griffin totem, because the trophies, sorry, not totems, trophies, your trophies are actually put on your horse now. You don't carry trophies on your belt, you carry trophies on your horse saddle. You still get the bonus, you get the bonus no matter where your horse is, but your trophy is on your horse. And the griffin's head is enormous, and it's filled with long hair. And once you get that in the frame as well, your performance starts going down. Now I'm guessing the guys you saw playing with hair physics on didn't do that. I don't remember seeing any of them with a horse with the head of the griffin bobbing along the side. So yes, you can run it, and depending on what you do, it might not have a big thing. They said they were going to try and optimize it so you could turn it on even on a weaker system, but I still have a feeling that this is going to be one of those things for people with dual 980s or even Titans. This is going to be something for people who... And I got to tell you, it looks so good. I'd almost be tempted to do that. I mean, it really did look good. Now, I don't know about the NVIDIA hair physics, whether or not you can do things like pass the workload onto a second card that's not in SLI. For those of you that don't know, if you've got an old NVIDIA card and say you upgrade to a 980 and you've got a 780 lying around, you can leave the 780 in your machine and have it used as a physics card. And this takes the load off your main graphics card, which is pretty cool. I don't know if the same can be done with NVIDIA hair physics. I'll have to look up for that. Because if that can be done, then the machine I've got at home, this one, is actually going to be better than the one I tried it on, because I do have a dedicated physics card, a 780, which is pretty damn powerful. So we're just going to have to wait and see what we can run it on. So there you go. Let's have a look. Flaming Lemons. Is there a quick save feature? If so, can you quick save using a controller? Don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't remember there being a quick save with the controller, though. Gotta be honest with you. I do not remember there being a quick save with the controller. I can't imagine they don't have a quick save, though. I mean, why wouldn't they have a quick save? That would be weird. That would be weird. It's a good question, but that would be weird if they didn't. However, there definitely wasn't anything really obvious that said press button such and such to quick save. I think if you're a controller user, you're probably supposed to go through buttons. But don't quote me on that. I never actually thought to do that. Good question. Gopher, if you compare Witcher 3 and 2, is the same difference as Witcher 2 and 1? Same leap in gameplay? Maybe. It's different because, you see, Witcher 2, in some ways, simplified some of the things that Witcher 1 did. It changed things like the Alchemy. Now, Witcher 3 has changed it sort of back, whilst also continuing to make it more user-friendly. So, to say it's just... Let me read the question again. Is it the same difference? Same leap in gameplay? I would say that the difference between Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 was that Witcher 1 felt very clumsy, right? Witcher 1 felt like a very clumsy game. Witcher 2 didn't. Witcher 2 felt pretty good. And it had a few less restrictions. Witcher 3 feels more like Witcher 2. It feels like sort of the same game but better. And so my first thought was, well, there was a bigger difference between Witcher 1 and 2. But at the same time, that's just not true. I feel like the difference between Witcher 3 and Witcher 2 is more massive because of the game, because of the world. The world in Witcher 2, I mean, I'm only, halfway through the game. It feels pretty closed. It still feels like it's split up into chapters. You know, you have little areas, you do the quest there, then you move on. It feels like it guides you quite a lot, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Witcher is just so open, and the feeling of being open is amazing. It really has such an amazing difference in the way it, you know, when you're playing, you just feel free to go anywhere. And it's a staggering feeling in a Witcher game. So I'd have to say it's an even bigger change. The combat isn't, though. The combat is a slight improvement on Witcher 2. You don't just have parry and roll, you also have sidestep now. And sidestep is actually a better option. If you roll out of the way, you use stamina. If you sidestep, you don't. So you're much better off sidestepping and parrying. You can still roll to get away from charges and big things like that. But so there's a few neat new little additions. There's the crossbow. But overall, the general mechanics feel very similar to Witcher 2. But the world, it's just on a whole new level. And the freedom doesn't just go into the world itself. It's not just, I can now go where I want. It's the feeling that you can climb objects, you can jump down slopes. You're not restricted by strange, you know, odd walls, that type of thing. So I'd say it was a bigger difference. Grelwing47, how do you think The Witcher 3's open world style will influence games like Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 4? Well, Fallout 4 it's not going to influence unless Fallout 4 is only just getting started, in which case I will cry. Elder Scrolls 6, I'm guessing they've already started. But if they take a look at The Witcher 3 and see how they've done the open world with no loading screens, my guess is Bethesda are going to have to up their game. The no loading screens thing is huge. It's huge, and CD Projekt Red have now shown that it can be done. It can be done, so people can stop saying it's not possible. So yeah. Bearsel, I found the first person camera work mod for Witcher 1. Do you think it will be possible to mod Witcher 3 to make first person view possible? I would imagine anything's possible with modding. Are you planning on making any mods for the Witcher games? Maybe. I may actually delve into the redkit, see what it's like, perhaps do tutorials on it, who knows. I'm keen to see some mods come out for Witcher 3, I really am. So I might do some poking around in there and see if I can get the ball rolling. Zero Wolfclaw Zero question: has CDPR mentioned anything about DLC expansions or other enhanced edition down the line? Well, they didn't talk to us about it, although I do know that they've said that their DLC will be free, I think. The expansions won't be. You'll pay for expansions, but horse armor will be free. I'm not saying they're going to have horse armor, but you know what I'm saying. So they will not be fleecing us, and they are planning at least, I believe, 2 expansions. But I didn't find that out while I was in Poland. That's just from what I've heard before. Are there special weapons armor like Witcher 2 Dark Mode in the Wild Hunt? I have no idea. No idea. I had a question. Did you find something you didn't like about Witcher 3? That's a great question. That is a great question. Not really. Apart from what I mentioned, the UI. The UI bars above the enemy's head. Not that keen on that. And the user interface in general. I'm not a fan of any of the Witcher games' heads-up display. But you know me. I don't like heads-up display elements. I'm not that keen on that sort of thing. So very few games are going to do that right. Skyrim came the closest because, of course, everything fades except the compass. And you all know what I did to the compass, so there you go. Apart from that, anything else I did not like? No, not really. I didn't like fighting level 9 ghouls with a broken silver sword at level 3, but that was my own fault. There's no, you can't blame that on the game, really. So, someone else asking about mods, same question. Kazuma Cat. With the now more open world focus of Witcher 3, shall we see more open-ended experiences, or will it still be the somewhat linear storytelling The Witcher is known for? And will we have the option to explore and play in the open world after the storyline? Well, I can't answer the very last question, whether you can carry on playing after the storyline. But my guess is yes. But don't quote me on that. I can't say for sure whether that is true. Will it be an open-ended experience? It felt like it was. There is a storyline, and I guess the main story is vaguely linear in the same way that, say, Skyrim's linear. You've got to do the quest objectives in a certain order, but you don't need to do them right at the start. In fact, you can completely ignore them from the looks of things. I think there's only... Oh, God, my video really is jumping, isn't it? That really is jumping quite horribly. Yeah, I'll sort this out next time I do anything like this. I will stop it from doing such a thing. What was the... I'm sorry, I was reading a question. Right, so, however, the general experience felt completely unrestrained. You could completely ignore the main quest. But what I can tell you, after talking to some other YouTubers, is when you do side quests, when you run up and do side quests, it will affect the main quest. It may actually have an effect on the main quest. Those of you who've played The Witcher before, at least The Witcher 1 especially, whenever you get a step in the main quest, I believe in 2 as well, it tends to spawn several other side quests, all of its own. And it would seem that these all have an effect on how the main quest will progress, how well you will be able to handle whatever's being thrown at you. And I have a feeling that even though the main quest is linear, it is not going to feel linear because of the way they've done this whole thing. And as I've said, you're not really forced, from what I can see, into going for that main quest. You can just go out and explore and pick up Witcher tasks till you get bored of them and then go off and do the main quest. I'm not answering questions about my beard. And that one I've already seen. Considering you didn't play the latest gold build of the game, do you know what has improved since then? Probably some bugs and hopefully mouse and keyboard optimization. I did try mouse and keyboard even though they told me not to, and it felt fine to me. No idea why they didn't want us to. Maybe there's some bug in it where if you use it for 20 minutes, all of a sudden it just completely scrambled. I don't know. But they did not want us to use mouse and keyboard. But when I tried it, I tried it for about half an hour. I had no trouble whatsoever. So I don't think there's going to be a problem there. We did spot 1 or 2 bugs while we were playing. Very, very minor ones, mostly visual glitches. There is a small bug when dismounting the horse, a very small clipping. The sort of bugs that you're completely used to if you've played Skyrim, right? But very, very minor. In fact, so minor I didn't notice them. The CD Projekt Red people were sort of going, yeah, the clipping with the horse there, yeah, can you ignore that? And I'm like, oh, didn't even see it, right? So, it was just when Geralt jumped off a horse. The only thing I noticed, but without them prompting, without them pointing at something, the only thing I noticed was a small light glitch above a fire in the city. And it was a single fire, and the smoke and light had a strange artifacting on it, and that was it. Let me put it one way. I've seen far more bugs and glitches in games that have been released for 6 months than I saw in that game. So I'm not sure what has changed, probably just polish. Gopher, what can you tell us about Witcher 3 on a not so powerful computer? Is it well optimized? Can't tell you anything. We didn't get to try it out on anything other than what they gave us. So it's going to be a demanding game. It is going to be a demanding game, but we played it on Ultra without hair physics on a 980, which is a good card, but not the best, on an i7, high-end gaming CPU, decent RAM. It was a decent machine, but it wasn't an extreme machine. It was not an extreme gaming machine, and we ran out on Ultra. So, will you be able to play it on a medium machine? Probably. Will it look as good? No, obviously. Yeah, of course not. It's not going to, is it? You didn't really expect it to, did you? Can we smoke or do drugs? I don't actually know. I didn't actually try that. You guys got some strange instincts, first things in these games. So, did you notice any flaws? Well, I've already... Oh, do I notice any flaws repeating from previous games? No, actually. All of the things that I would have changed in number 1 were kind of changed in number 2. And then number 2 introduced a few new things that irritated me, and they seem to have gone in number 3. They're definitely learning as they go. Definitely. They're definitely learning. They're smoothing off the rough patches, and they're enhancing the things that they did well in previous games. Did they say anything about what you get with your Witcher 2 save? Nope. Will Witcher 3 provide customizations for the armor and weapons and such? Or will the weapons look similar to they did in the previous games? I didn't explore the blacksmith very much, but I believe you can actually tweak the looks of weapons and armors, but don't quote me on that. I did not really heavily hit the blacksmith. How big do you think the replayability will be in comparison to Elder Scrolls? Probably very much. Not only can you probably side with at least 2 different sides, because you always can in Witcher games. I think the way you solve the quest, so to speak, the way you approach it, whether it's as a swordsman or a mage, that type of thing, is probably going to be extremely different because of the way they've done the builds this time, the character build. You really do have to focus on certain areas and choose your skills wisely if you're playing on the tougher difficulties. And I have a feeling you're gonna complete it as a sort of expert swordsman with a little bit in science and a little bit in alchemy, and think to yourself, I really want to know whether I can do this with just alchemy, and try it. I'm betting people are going to do that, so I'd say it's quite a lot of replayability. Do you get to visit Kaer Morhen? I am not sure if I can answer that question, so I'm not going to. That sounds like spoiler information. How many NPC clones have you seen? Not many. That's one of the great things. That is one of the great things. The NPCs definitely look varied, and they looked far more believable. I met lots of women who looked various ages, you know, from young to very old. They all looked unique. They didn't all have that I've got my cleavage showing, I'm good looking, and my husband looks like a chimpanzee kind of thing going. Because you remember in Witcher 1, all of the women looked more or less the same. They were pretty much all good looking, wearing revealing clothes, and all married to someone who looked like he'd been kicked in the face by a donkey. So there's no more of that. There is a variety in NPCs, in both the men and women. The ages vary, so some of them look old, some of them look middle-aged, some of them look young. It feels far deeper in that respect. So, and I like that. I like the fact that not everybody. Let's face it. In Witcher 1, you could classify all of the NPCs into sort of like 5 or 6 various types, and it was sometimes kind of amusing and sometimes kind of annoying. As an LPer myself, I'm curious, how do you think the best way is to handle The Witcher 3 as a Let's Play? Don't know, actually. Can you actually go into the mountains in the horizon, or are they just backdrops? Well, I didn't actually get that far. I didn't get that far. But what I can tell you, is in general, the backdrop is actually the game world. It's not like, it's not painted on. So if you're in the city and off in the distance, you know, half a mile away, you see a bunch of buildings, those buildings you can probably go to. You will almost certainly be able to ride to those buildings again. And as you get there, they'll just get more and more detailed. And it really was very, very nice. How is the performance in big cities? It looked pretty good. And I'm going to tell you something now. The big city that I only found one, was big. Hands down the biggest city I've ever been in any RPG. It was enormous. I mean, when you consider there were no zones, this thing was just absolutely enormous. It dwarfs things in Skyrim. Absolutely dwarfs them. I got lost several times. And again, all right, yeah, I get lost all the time. But it was massive. It was massive. No zones. Are there any quest markers in the game? Yes. Could the Witcher Sense be a good alternative to these, which are obviously quite unimmersive? Also, yes. I'm not sure if you can turn the quest markers off. I think you can. There are little question marks telling you things you've not discovered. You can turn those off. But I believe there were quest markers. I might be wrong, but I believe there were. Will I be able to run The Witcher 3 on a low-end setting? I don't know. I mean, this was another. Are the graphics as downgraded as they say? I have no idea. Everyone said this to me. Oh, what about the downgrade in the graphics? It's a massive upgrade in graphics compared to the games I play. I mean, just look at it on the screen now. If Skyrim looked that nice, we'd be happy. You know? It's much nicer than Skyrim. The distant terrain is really well done. You don't notice things like that. You really don't notice things like distant terrain. I mean, I never noticed any popping while I was playing, although when you watch the video, you can see it occasionally. You can see occasionally a tree popping in, but it's just not in your face like it was in Skyrim by a country mile, actually. The whole game looks really nice. Very, very sort of, I don't know, fantasy but real. I've seen some pictures of how people said it was supposed to be looking like, but it tended to look more like it was using a very, very intense ENB in that game footage. So I'm suspecting if we do get modding and Boris gets into it and makes an ENB for it, we're going to end up with a lot of ENBs for The Witcher anyway. Okay. How did the different signs feel? Better, worse, weak, overpowered? That's one of the few areas I really didn't experience as much as I would like. I can tell you that the trap sign, I can never remember what it's called, is it Erden? Was very interesting. It doesn't seem to be a trap sign anymore. It makes a circle, and if you fight anything in that circle, I think you do so much more damage to it or something like that. There seem to be quite a lot of changes. Igni is Igni, the stun was stun. But they seem pretty as you would expect. But of course, because I didn't get very far, I didn't get very many skills in it, I didn't actually explore what could be done with those signs. Not even slightly. Will the PC version get to the part where you would choose your actions from previous games? I believe so, but again, I didn't get to test that because I didn't bring a save with me. Can I jump off my horse quick when there are enemies? Like inconvenience horse mods for Skyrim. Yes, you can. You can even see it in some of my videos. You vault off the horse. You can fight from horseback as well. I didn't do too much of that because, again, controller. Did you feel multiple playstyles were valid, or was one way of fighting better overall? That's only going to get answered when we play for a long period of time. But I suspect you can play a lot of different ways. Okay, you know what? I want to take a little break. A, I want to get some money, and B, we haven't had a raffle. We're not raffling enough. Let's have another raffle. Whew. Okay, I've opened a Raffle. Raffle, the next code for Witcher 2. Type exclamation mark Raffle a single time. Here we go. There's a little bit of a delay. Just going to set up my messages ready for this. Okay, and Dead Marrow Whack managed to redeem it successfully. So we're doing something correct. We're doing something right. Oh, resub the true. The true. Were you my occultist in Darkest Dungeon? I believe you were. Use slow mode. I don't think slow mode will help. We've got 1,751 people, and apparently all of them are typing Raffle. You could slow mode it all you like. If 1,700 people type a line at the same time, we're kind of... Do I want to go get some money? You're offering to go do some payday later on now, you gotta go. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have... Oh, resub for KM Sparky. We're going to have a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to go get myself something to drink. Not alcohol. Relax. And you guys keep doing the raffle. I'll come back when I've finished. I'll close it. I'll pick the winner. See you in a second. Okay, just checking the questions. Alright, so let's try to close this thing. Closed, and let's draw. No, the question and answer is not over. We're carrying on right now. After I have done another draw, we got to do these a little quicker though, because I've got too many of these. And there you go. Pre-unit has won the raffle. There you go. It is sent off to you right now. Congratulations. And you know what? Doing another one. While we talk. Gonna do another one. Everyone do raffle. Everyone do raffle. I'm gonna reset it now. So everyone do raffle. Right. And while we do that, I'm gonna answer some more questions. Because we're gonna have to do this at the same time, I think. Otherwise, we're going to be here all bloody night. So, we are going to have a Sky UI for The Witcher be someone Witcher UI? Maybe, I don't know. Will there be a UI overhaul? Maybe, maybe not. The UI is very... It's very console friendly, but it works, I think, for PC as well. It's going to be... I don't know, we're going to have to see. We are going to have to see. I could imagine someone making a more PC friendly UI. I don't think it needs much more functionality, just the visuals need to be shrunk, obviously. And of course the heads-up display. You said there were no loading times in between transitioning between areas. Did that affect the initial loading time when booting up your game save? Not that I could tell, no. Not that I could tell. That was from Neogenic 1979. This next question is from FLTMDK. Will The Witcher 3 provide customization for armor, weapons and such? Didn't I already answer that one? I think that's a copy question. Oh, here we go. Right. I don't understand that question. How much inventory space do you have, and is there encumbrance? I understand that one. I didn't push my luck with the inventory. I'm pretty sure there will be encumbrance. I can't imagine there isn't, but I wasn't really paying much attention to that. Okay, this is from Carby Carby. Hey Gopher, I listened to you on the Co-optional podcast and quite enjoyed the dodging on the game. What exactly did you feel that is different from the Witcher 3 combat that could avoid the rolling plus Ken spamming that was in TW2? Well, rolling in the Witcher 2 costs stamina. You will run out of stamina eventually, I think. I think that's how it works. Sidestepping is much better. Sidestepping is not as big a movement. It's a very subtle movement. And it allows you to, it's actually a better movement. You're much more likely to get to the side of your opponent. But if your opponent's doing a great big massive area attack or a charge, that's probably not going to be the best option. So you're going to be changing your defense depending on what you're facing. Possibly if you're very good at parrying, you will parry against weapons, sidestep against claws or fists, and roll against charging bloody dragons or whatever. If we get, I didn't see any dragons, please don't ask. Does Geralt age while you play the story? Not that I noticed, and I doubt it, because let's face it, Geralt doesn't age very fast anyway. He is a Witcher, so probably not. And let's just finish these questions. Do NPCs in The Witcher 3 have SMTH like Elder Scrolls Radiant AI? Something like the Radiant AI. Like they have a schedule, they have to eat various stats. I can't say for sure, but I think so. I do think they... I mean, the previous Witcher games had that, though. The previous Witcher games, you had to be at certain places to meet certain NPCs. They didn't just stay there night and day. And you know, you'll go past people who are eating at dinner tables. You'll go past people who are sleeping, I think. I mean, you had them in previous games. I wasn't, again, paying that much attention to that, actually. Good question, actually. That is a good question. Can Geralt use other weapons? Don't know. Did not, unfortunately, find any that I could try. Could you speak to every NPC that was not hostile? Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Many of them just sort of said something and, you know, you couldn't answer them. They wouldn't answer you, you know. Or they'd say something, but you didn't get the dialogue interaction that you're talking about. Is there ship-based combat? Yes. I didn't try it. I did not try it. I saw it. And it's amazing. I'm not sure how much you can fight from the boat. I think you can, but it's probably not easy because things from the water can attack you and things from the air can attack you. What I can tell you is the boat gets damaged. You will see pieces of the boat getting damaged and the boat will start sinking. So yeah, I didn't get to try this. I did see a few other people doing it and it looked amazing. Jash Media, Gopher, why did they invite you? I have actually no idea, to be honest. I wondered if it was because I had done a Witcher 1 playthrough, but I spoke to some other channels and they hadn't done... Some of them had not actually played Witcher before, I think, or at least it didn't seem to come up high up on their radar when I checked their channels. So I'm not totally sure it was that. I think some of them had played Witcher 2 but not Witcher 1. I honestly think it was just subscribers. You guys, basically. I think what they were looking for was coverage. Good or bad. I think they just wanted coverage out there. So they picked people with subscribers and invited them, and I just happened to have to be on that list. I suspect. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. They didn't invite me because of modding. I was wondering about whether that was it. They were going to say, look, we've got loads of, you know, the red kit's going to be available at launch, you know, and so that maybe that was why they didn't invite me. But honestly, I suspect it was purely and simply down to the numbers on my channels. I don't think they were looking for hardcore Witcher people. I mean, I'm not a hardcore Witcher person. I am a Witcher fan, but of course I'm only halfway through the second game at the moment. And there are plenty of people out there who are bigger Witcher fans than I am, and they didn't get invited, and I suspect it's purely numbers. And that's reasonable. They didn't invite us. They didn't invite people as a sort of, you know, it wasn't a publicity event so that people could see some of the biggest fans of Witcher getting invited and having fun. It was a way to get coverage, to get game footage out there to as many people as possible, to a wide variety of audiences. So I suspect that is it. Let us have a look at our raffle. I've closed the raffle. I'm going to draw the raffle. Oh, congratulations. Umber Skies. Okay. It's on its way. It is on its way. There you go. Next one. We're going to do another one. We're going to do another one. And I'm opening it now with new raffle. Okay. Oh, I saw one question. I saw one question from Imunji-san. He said, in the game, are there any auto-fail areas? Not that I saw. I didn't see any auto-fail areas. That's a very good question, because you know how much I loathe and detest auto-fail. Okay, so, carrying on, he says, drinking his coffee. Any comment on items having durability? Yes, they have durability. Yes, it's very annoying. Yes, it's a great feature. You will break your sword. You will have to get it fixed. And it's a good idea to keep it in good working order because, as I have mentioned, finding yourself fighting level 9 ghouls without a silver sword when you're level 3 is not something I recommend. I beat them. I did. Took me forever. I say them. I beat one and then just got out of there. How does the combat compare to Dark Souls? Very difficult for me to answer because, of course, I didn't try it on the hardest difficulty. I suspect it's going to be going towards the Dark Souls level of difficulty, you know, when you compare it to games like Skyrim, but probably not quite as tough as Dark Souls 2. Maybe. I didn't fight any boss fights. I did not fight any boss fights. I think it's going to depend on the difficulty. If you put it on the high difficulty, you really are... You don't just spam hits. You don't just spam hit block. It's not Skyrim. There's not Skyrim. You are going to have to dodge. Dodging is absolutely essential. Parrying does work, but you have to be good at it. Probably has to be against the right creatures. And you very easily get swamped. If you're attacked by 3 things, it's a real pain. Even if they're quite weak, you know, one-on-one, you go facing a drowner, and you think, oh, drowner, and there's 3 of them, and it's like, oh, because you will get taken down pretty quickly if they start attacking you from behind. So I'd say it's probably not going to be as hardcore as Dark Souls 2, even on the hard difficulty. It might be, but probably not. But it is going to be a lot tougher than most. Did they improve looting from dead corpses? To be honest with you, the looting from corpses seems identical, and the whole thing pretty much happens as it did before. You go near it, you click on it, you take everything, and the bodies disintegrate pretty quickly as well. So that hasn't changed. They don't leave tons of bodies lying around. Would you equate Witcher 3 Wild Hunt to Morrowind? The radical change from previous versions. Maybe. I mean, if you mean, could Witcher 3 be the game that basically puts Witcher on the map of the classics alongside Elder Scrolls? Maybe. You could argue The Witcher's already there. But it's a small following, isn't it? The Witcher's got a very, very hardcore following at the moment. Slightly bigger with Witcher 2. I think Witcher 3 is going to amplify that following out. It's going to bring in a lot more players. Because, of course, they've made it a lot more streamlined. The game is very, very easy to pick up, really. It's everything's very, very instinctive. There's no clumsiness to it. You don't feel like you've got to learn the game massively. If you've played this type of game before, it's pretty easy to pick up. Potions are streamlined. And if you play it on the lowest difficulty, you can probably just come in as a casual gamer and blast through The Witcher 3, spending God knows how much time, and really enjoy it. At the same time, if you're a hardcore Witcher 3 fan, you can crank up the difficulty and play it really, really seriously. The true Witcher experience, as I would call it. And that sort of wider appeal is going to, I think, put them firmly on the map as one of the big boys. Do you think Witcher 3 suffers from too much hype? Oh, no, not really. When I compare it to the hype of, say, Assassin's Creed, here's the thing. Things have got too much hype if they don't deliver. And I think with Witcher 3, what people have seen with The Witcher 3 is they're hyped about it, but they're all kind of cautious because we've seen so much hype. We're expecting fail, aren't we? You know, we saw Watch Dogs and thought, that's just, you know, that's amazing. And then it comes and we think, meh. I think Witcher 3 has got less hype than Watch Dogs did. I think it's got less hype than many games have had. It does have hype. But the hype is tinged with suspicion. And I think this is a healthy thing to have. But this particular time, I think we don't need as much suspicion. As I've said, it's early days. We've got to see what the final game is, how it plays over the long haul. But right now, all the ingredients are there. Everything they needed to do to make this game really, really good fun, they've done. And I suspect it's going to get some good reviews. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, this game's going to blow everyone away. It has the potential to blow people away. It does have that potential. It has this potential to, you know... My guess is this game's going to do at least as well as Skyrim did. At least as well as Skyrim did. And, you know, the hype for that was massive. I think the expectations were less, though. For some reason, people expect less from Bethesda. They expect this massive open world. They expect being able to play for 200 hours even if they don't mod the game. But they don't seem to expect, you know, the sort of level of graphics that people expect in other games. They don't expect the polish. They don't seem to mind bugs. A lot of that's down to the whole modding community, I suppose, but people on the console don't. For some reason, expectations on Bethesda games are always tempered. There can be hype, but people are tempered. With Witcher 3, I think people are equally as tempered. People are kind of, you know, they're hopeful, but not off their trolleys. That's my feeling at the moment. So yeah, will it live up to the hype? I think so. I think it'll live up to the hype. But that depends on how much hype you've been infected by. How much hype have you been infected by? Have you pre-ordered this game 6 months ago and cancelled the rest of the year so you can play it? You may have been hyped too much. But if you're pretty excited to play this game, I think you're about the right level of hype. So, let's go on. Yeah, one more question, then we'll... In your quite short playthrough, have you faced any heavy story-changing choices which you have later regretted? No, I mean, I didn't play that much. I did not play that much, but I suspect there are going to be those kind of choices, because it is... It is a Witcher thing. What about repetitive voice actors? I didn't notice any. I did not notice any, but I only played a short period, really. So, but you know, in Witcher 1, you noticed it within 10 seconds of playing the game, didn't you? No, none of that. You didn't see much of that. I suspect there will be a fair amount of repetition because it's an open world with, theoretically, an unlimited number of characters. Let's have a look. Can I tell you about Gwent? Gwent is a card game where you basically pick cards for your hand. And then you play those cards in different rows. They all have different rows, but you have cards that can sort of buff an entire row or negate an entire row. And you have to try and get more power in your army than your opponents by playing different cards. But there are multiple rounds, and you don't always have to win all of the rounds. So there's something to be said for occasionally throwing a round. Throwing, you know, if he plays a really superb card to start with, or really seems to be going strong, or if you're having a go and he plays a card that negates one of your rows, and you think to yourself, "Oh God, I'm not going to be able to get this. I'm not going to be able to get out of this. I'm gonna let him win this one. He's used a load of his good cards. I'm going to let him win this one." You have to make these type of decisions. There seems to be a little bit more strategy in this particular minigame, and I like that. As to how much there is, I didn't play it enough. Again, this is something that I think is going to take a lot of hands before you really become good at the game and get a handle on how good the game is. But I think it's definitely showing promise. Can I tell you a bit more about the mini card game? Just did. What is the dynamic day and night and weather cycle like? Very, very good. There is night and day. You can rest so as to get, you know, into the sunshine. The weather changes and it is very, very different. If it's a nice sunny day, it feels calm and warm. If it's overcast and rainy, it feels wet. The fog's quite nice. And if it's windy, oh my God, when it gets windy, especially if you're in the hills, the sound is amazing. It really sounds like wind rushing through the trees massively loudly. And the trees really react to it when the wind is strong. And I played on quite a few windy days. And the grass and the trees really react to it. What do I think of the auto refill on Alchemy? I think it's a really, really good idea. I know the person saying this says, personally, I don't like it. I think it's unnecessary simplification. I don't think it is. Well, if it didn't auto refill, if you had to click on it and say, I'd like to refill this with alcohol, yeah, all right, I can see how that might be better. So you choose which potions to refill rather than it automatically happening. But I like the fact that the potion refills using just alcohol and I don't have to go out and get 3 million bloody myrtle petals. Really glad of that because that was utterly and completely pointless. That did not add anything to The Witcher 1. It just made it really, really grindy. Removing that from the game was a great idea. Re-adding alcohol was a great idea. You can now, you know, recharge your potions. You invest a bit more time making the initial potion, and then you just keep refilling it with alcohol. It works, it's streamlined, and I think generally it's going to encourage people to use the potions more. You also, if you get more skills in the potion, you can upgrade the potion. You have to get new components and upgrade it. So you still have to go out and harvest every time you do this, and every time you want to make a new potion, you have to go out and harvest whatever it is, and there are a lot more components needed for that initial creation. So there's still a complexity there. They've just removed the grind element. But I do understand if you mean the fact that it automatically refills it, that could be annoying, because of course then you can't even choose. If you've only got 2 alcohol and you've got 4 potions to refill, which does it choose? Yeah, maybe auto's not great. Maybe that's something that we could get modded. What do I think of the underground combat and exploration? Underwater combat, I didn't try, but underwater exploration, I did. The swimming is fine. It works pretty much as it would work in most games. It looked great. It's, you know, you obviously have a certain amount of breath, and but I didn't try fighting underwater, actually. I assume you can, actually, because there are a lot of underwater creatures. So I assume you can. That's a good question. Didn't try it. Sorry. Whirlwind 86. How useful is the bestiary? Can you buy books to expand it other than killing the beasts? I didn't find any books, so probably not. I did find I learned things as I went along. So I would talk to people. I would track the creature down to get... That's how I got information on several of the creatures, is I would track them down with witcher sense. I would find clues. I would learn about them, and my bestiary would grow, and I would get new information. So you feel more like a detective. And the bestiary is very, very useful indeed, because... Okay, tell you what, let's go to another video. Let's have some music as well. I'm sat here playing music and forgetting. So, let's put a little more volume. The bestiary is very, very useful because it gives you all of the creature's weaknesses, and it does it in a way that is actually very visual. You can see which sign they're generally vulnerable to, which weapon oil. It will show you an icon of it as well. You can hover over it. It's all very, very visual and very, very helpful. If you are playing on the tougher difficulties, you will be reading your bestiary. You will be needing that information. Question, how was the stealing system? Was it easy as previous journalists stated? Question, looting, is there an incentive to not just take everything not nailed down? Right, you can steal now. Some things belong to other people. Guards, and if you steal it, the guards will get annoyed and they will attack you. They will also get really angry if you try to hit them. If you try to hit them, the guards, friendly guards, will warn you. They'll say, oi, behave. And if you try and hit them again, they'll engage you. Here's one of the funny things. If it's guards like rather than monsters, they don't kill you. They'll beat the living daylights out of you, they'll drag you off into a field nearby, rob you a little bit, and leave you there. So you'll wake up, you'll be missing some items and money, but you'll be alive. They don't kill you. I mean, that's not everyone. Some of them will kill you, obviously, but some of the friendly guards, some of the city guards, or the tower guards and so on, duffed you up, stole some of your money, took you off, dumped you in a field, which was very cool. So, yeah, you can't wander into everyone's house and start stealing, at least not that I saw. Plenty of houses you can steal from, though. Plenty of villagers don't seem to mind. Witcher walks in, takes food, everyone goes, okay, it's bloody Witcher, isn't it? Alright. Closing the raffle. Drawing the next winner. And congratulations, Tyrex 7. I will send you the code. Give me a sec, just... Okay, right, everyone seems to be... I'm doing okay at the moment, actually. So, Tyrex 7, congrats! And here is your code. Okay. And so, we've closed that one. We're opening a new one. You know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a new raffle. Okay. God, the questions keep coming. The questions are getting longer. I'm never going to get to the end of these. Vissen. Hello, Gopher. Can you just say my name so my boyfriend thinks we're friend? Is that Vissen? Vickern? I hope I got it right. Okay, moving on. Vela's question. Do we still use the Witcher Medallion or just Witcher Sense? Witcher Sense. I didn't see anything that activated the Medallion, to be honest. So, yeah. I didn't actually pay that much attention to that. Maybe the Medallion still buzzes and things when things happen. Do the trophies you collect have any special effects? Yes, they did. They had special effects that I think. Oh God. I think they did. Yes, I think they did. Does the crossbow... How does the crossbow handle? Is it easy to use? Well, not with a controller for me. It was very hard to aim, but I don't aim with a controller. I couldn't play Payday 2 with a controller to save my life. With a mouse, I suspect it's going to be a lot easier to use the crossbow. That's what I suspect. Can you completely turn off the heads-up display? I don't know. Any pop-in sudden change of detail? Well, I've seen some in video when I've edited the video, but I didn't notice it while playing. How are the followers in game? Did not find any. How good are the boob physics? Did not spend any time checking that out. What performance can you play on if your computer matches the recommended specs needed? No idea, sorry. I mean, they didn't give us the range of options there. We were playing on the computer they gave us. Question, do you have a party system or companions that battle beside you? I don't know, to be honest. I don't actually know. I didn't play that far into it to get followers. Was the FPS stable when you played? As far as I could see, yeah. I very rarely saw drops apart from when I enabled the hair physics. So that was a thing. Is the Witcher Sense system interesting, immersive, or is it as flat as the Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision? I think the difference with the Witcher's site is that it leads you to clues that you need. That you don't just, it doesn't just show you all the things that can be looted and all the enemies nearby, but allows you to follow footprints, allows you to see blood stains that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see, and check them out. But I mean, I'm not sure what else you expect from it. I mean, it is literally an ability that lets you see things that were hidden. Can you have your own house in-game? I don't know, actually. I did not. Didn't get that far, but I don't know. It doesn't sound the sort of thing. Are there a lot of QTEs? I didn't see any, thankfully. I did not see any. I'm hoping they got the memo. I really hope they got the memo and didn't add QTEs. I did not see any. I didn't get any in-game, and I didn't see anyone else getting them in-game either, so I'm hoping not. Do you have any hints about the consequences system? Not really. Beyond the consequences of if you annoy the guards, they will rob you and leave you for dead in a field somewhere. Have you tried higher difficulties? Briefly, I got crucified. I can't tell you what the differences are beyond everything just seemed to hit harder, hit more often, and I had less of an effect on them. But I'm going to have to play a lot more to be able to tell you that. I really am. Does the combat feel a lot more weighty this time and the hits feel more connected? The combat is very good. It's pretty fluid, and the animations, well, they're pretty good. The animations, they don't seem jerky. You don't do a hit and see the character sort of shuffle into the right position and then hit. It seems to, whichever position the character's in, he hits from that position. The combat feels, I mean, there's this feeling of impact when you hit things, and to some degree when you get hit. But I don't know. That's a difficult question to answer, actually. I'd have to deliberately go out of my way to pay attention to that next time. Are there any stealth mechanics? I didn't find any stealth sections, and I didn't see hints of one, no. Do people get mad if you rob them blind yet? Some of them. Is exploring the wilderness boring, or is there always something catching your eye? It's not boring. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful scenery to look at, but you will constantly keep running across people in need, or towns, or little way shrines. There are constant little things all over the land to keep you interested. There are some areas where you'll run for a minute and a half and not find anything, but it's not massive. It's not sort of a 20-minute traversing without bumping into anything. You'll run and you will find something to do within a very short distance. It doesn't feel crowded as it could do, but you do bump into several adventures. So what about the giant creature that Melanie Mac couldn't kill on day 2? Okay, right. Here's the thing. Poor Melanie fought a creature. Now, what had happened is we'd asked them whether we could go a bit further on. So what they did is they got one of their devs to play to a much higher level, to another area, and gave us the save. The problem is this save was done on a different build to the one we were playing on. So there were some inconsistencies between the save and the build we were playing. And when Melanie played this particular big boss, it was scripted to run away at 25% health, but because of the build incompatibilities, it didn't. And it gets to 0% health, but it won't die. Because it's supposed to run away at 25%, and then you're supposed to track it or something. I don't know what it is. You're supposed to track it. So it's a big epic battle where you fight him down a bit, and then you chase him into the wilderness. And I can't even tell you what the boss is, but actually maybe that's too big a spoiler. That might be a spoiler. Oh my God. But anyway, it didn't happen, and she got really annoyed because it wouldn't die. she's going, you saw it, it died. I killed it, it died. You saw it, and we're all going, no, sorry, it's still moving. So yeah, not happy. No. How useful is the bestiary? Answered that one. Did you have sex in the game? No, didn't find any romances. Does The Witcher 3 have a balanced combat system? Too early to say. What is Yennefer's personality like? That's definitely a spoiler. Do you think high polish of which series discourages modding? No, I don't think so. How has your channel benefited from opportunities CDPR gave you? A little too early to say. I got an influx of views, you know, obviously, but influxes of views do happen. And unfortunately, about 2/3 of the influx of views happen to have been from that recent drama with the Skyrim modding. So, you know, an influx of views is always nice, but, you know, that's not what I am about. I mean, how has my channel benefited from the opportunity? I'd say more than anything, it's given me a chance to expand the type of videos I make. So, and try something I've never tried before. So for me personally, it's given me a great opportunity. As to the effect that will have on my channel, I think only time will tell. So, I have to wait and see. Let's have a look. Is it region locked? No idea. Did you notice any enemy AI changing due to time of day like the recent trailer suggests? No, as I've already mentioned, I think that's there, but I wasn't really paying attention to that either. Okay, so let's go to our raffle. Added one or more users to the raffle. Right. Okay, next code. And we're closing. We've closed the raffle and I'm about to select drawing. Congratulations, Codeman 224. The code is on its way to you. There we go. Alright, and I'm opening up the next raffle now. New raffle. This is strange amounts of fun. Does it suffer from Assassin's Creed syndrome with too many side distractions? No. The Witcher games never felt like that. I mean, in Assassin's Creed, I always felt like the side distractions were totally infantile. They were like, you know, I've got a job to assassinate this leader, but before I do that, I'm going to race across the roofs and see how fast I can do it. They always felt like that. In the Witcher games, they've never felt like that. So yes, I have got a quest to do something serious, but as I'm travelling around, people say, oh, you're a Witcher, can you please kill this monster for me? And the way it's told in Witcher 3 feels even more immersive, and you do feel semi-obliged as a Witcher to do your job. Not to mention the fact that you do usually get a reward for it of some nature. So you do find that you actually want to do these jobs. They don't feel infantile. There are some side quests that are not Witcher related. You can probably ignore them, but some of them are still interesting. You know, you'll come across a blacksmith who's had his forge set alight, and you know, if you're the sort of person who's playing a Witcher who sympathises with the non-human races, you might actually say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to take time out of my busy, quest and help this dwarf out. So all of the quests feel okay, you know, they don't feel idiotic. They feel the sort of thing you would do. You're a Witcher. You are travelling on a grand quest, an overall quest, but while you're doing it, you're doing your job. And I think that's one of the beauties of the Witcher series, that you're playing a character who, no matter where he goes, has got things to do. It's expected of him, which is kind of good. Okay. Can you give us any hint as to the beginning of the story? Nope. Question. Can you adjust camera distance from Geralt? I didn't try. Can Geralt pirouette dodge? I didn't see it. I didn't see pirouette dodging. But that could be something you learn later on, new skill. I don't know, but I didn't see pirouette dodging. I know apparently that's a big thing in the Witcher series, isn't it? Right? Pirouette dodging is supposed to be a thing. So I didn't see it. How long do you think it will take for the first mods to hit Nexus? Probably days. Somebody will figure it out, even without the red kit. There will be some mods. As to how good they will be, no idea. How is the padded riposte in The Witcher 3? Oh, it felt very similar to The Witcher 2, actually. It felt very, very similar. It was pretty good. I didn't do it very often because I didn't have very many skills in that area. So... how long do you think it would take... oh, no, we've done that one. Do cutscenes change the weather like they do in Witcher 2 as the scene... oh. Oh, I don't know, but... wait. Oh, God, that's loud. Okay, that was loud. I got my first ever tip from Jax9. That's my first ever tip, my first ever stream tip. People have been asking me to put a tipping system on my stream for a while now, and I decided to do it, and somebody found it. Somebody actually found it. Somebody found it. You're my first tipper. Thank you very much. Okay. That was loud though, wasn't it? I should definitely get the sound adjusted, because that was like, whoa! Okay. How does that even work? It's just PayPal. It's just PayPal. That's all. He's giving me a tip through PayPal. Don't worry about it. You don't have to tip me at all. It was something I was asked to add, and I added this as a thanks, kind of like the subscriber thing. But I do need to tweak that, because that's going to scare everyone half to death. Where was I? Does shelter stop rain and snow? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. I think so. I'm pretty sure it must. If it... Did I go inside in the rain? I think I went inside. I think it was raining quite a lot while I was playing, and I went inside several times. And if it was raining inside and in, I think I would have noticed. I think I would have Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Leaf on the Wind 7. I should turn that off, shouldn't I? That's Hunter of Fortune. Thank you very much. Is this why people asked me to put that in, so that they could I mean, don't get me wrong. Thank you. I mean, I'm just sat here answering questions and apparently earning tips. Okay. What have I done? What have I done? God, I gotta get that sound sorted. That is, oh. You guys are having fun now, aren't you? Oh, let me have a look. Is there a sound? Is there a sound? Can I change the sound level on it? Should I reduce this? I tell you what. Right. I need to. The stream is over. You think? I tell you what. I'm. Lazy Grizzly, thank you. Now you are all just doing this to wind me up. I know that now. Right. Let me drop the sound for everyone, because I have a feeling people are going to get seriously annoyed with that sound, aren't they? Yes. Kazuma Cat, thank you. Jesus. Yes. Tonight's whiskey supply is brought to you by the very loud tip machine. Is that volume better? I've had to... I mean... God knows how I do this. Alright, it's finished. It's stopped. Okay. I don't want to turn the volume down too much, otherwise you can't hear the actual music. So, I don't... Okay, let's just turn the bloody music up, I think is the way forward on that one, isn't it? Thank you, Zelfos. That still doesn't make up for... what was it? Actually, no, I quite like that game, didn't I, in the end? Long live the Queen. Gudbrand 8. I'm going to have to do something about the sound. I really am. So, are we going to... added one... Is it getting louder? It's not getting louder, no, but... Whoa! Okay, now we're having a little competition. Look, guys, I appreciate you trying to throw money at me, but we've actually got a subscriber versus donation war going on here, and that feels a little wrong. So... should I just... I tell you what, I'm going to reduce the sound. I'm going to reduce the sound. Thank you, Bayasal. Thomas CT. Thomas CT! That's my medic from my first very long XCOM run. I broke it. I did, didn't I? This is my own fault. Okay, I've turned the volume down and I've took my headphones off because I can't turn the volume down for me. Turn it down for you, but not me. Then... Right. Let's sort the other raffle out whilst people are getting it out of the system. Oh god, that's weird. Alright. So... Moobot, we're closing. We are closing. We're closing. Ventic subscribe. Even the moderators are in this now. Even the moderators are trying to spam. Okay. Did I stop it? Did I close it? I think I closed it. I closed it. I'm gonna draw. Thank you, Dalitus Drain. Thank you very much. Oh, what have I done? Are there any actual puzzles, or is it more focused on bishy bashy? I don't know about puzzles exactly. Mysteries would be a better description. Droslan, congratulations, Droslan. You have got a copy of The Witcher 2. It is on its way to you right now. And of course, I'm opening another raffle, so start raffling. There you go. Tindus resub, thank you very much. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little bombarded here. Sorry. So, yes. Okay, I've got it. Right, the raffle's up. The raffle is up. Thank you, Malax AV. Thank you very much. Right, so, music. Oh, you can't even... I tell you what. I'll turn the music up. So... What was I saying? Questions! You've completely thrown me now. Gulyaslevers? Thank you. Where was I? Question. Lockpicking minigame. Good question. I didn't actually notice any. I did not notice any. Thank you, Carl Ross. Likir, did the weather have any impact on game except cosmetic? Holy sh... Okay, Stealthy Pistol, thank you very much, but... Guys... Having a little fun and giving me a tip is one thing. Giving me the price of a game is just a teeny bit on... I'm not saying I'm not grateful, but... Thank you, Mao Kihan. Thank you, but... Don't get carried away. There should be some check to make sure people are, you know, not drunk. $1 from Irelion. Thank you very much. Oh god. Thank you, KMYID123. I have got to answer these questions very, very quickly in between. Lockpicking minigame. There was no lockpicking as far as I could see. There was no... Thank you, Stiger92. My brain is not handling this. You know what? I don't multitask, guys. I'm famous for it. I do not multitask. I can barely talk and play a game. As soon as I start talking, my playing goes down about 90%. If I'm... Keep your sanity, please. Thank you. I'm afraid we're a little late for that. Okay, next question. Did the weather have any impact on game except cosmetics? That is a great question. I'm not actually sure. Because in number 2 it did, didn't it? It did in number 2. I hope it does. 5 from Quadico Stealth Payback. I have a feeling that's not Quadico. Thank you, Sedandy Pants. What am I going to do with all this money? Get a quieter sound file. Whiskey jar. That's what I should have called it. I can't drink that much whiskey. I'm on a diet. If I drink even 1 glass of whiskey, it goes to my head at the moment. So, weather, that was it. Yeah, right. Did you find some chat options that change and disappear depending on what you selected? I'm afraid, again, that's something I'll have to check out when I finally get the game. How is the audio layer in game, on the whole, impressive, apart from the wind? Actually, it is. One of the great things about... Thank you, Canine Instincts. One of the great things about the game is you don't think about the audio. It's really immersive. Thank you, Dickles. Did you watch the podcast last night? That Dickles, isn't that the name we ended up coming up with in the podcast? Casey Max 01. Thank you. But yeah, anyway, so audio. Thank you, Vane Wolf. The audio. You don't think about it. But that's the best that's the best thing you can say about an audio. Apparently Steve Gopher is now tipping me. Thank you, Steve. For those of you who are new to my channel, Steve Gopher was my first ever character. Stealthy Pistol, thank you. Haven't you already donated? Okay, that's thank you. From the Basti 82, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know. First world problems, eh? Poor go for all the monies. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a terrible problem to have, but you're totally throwing me off my... That's the idea, I know, but I need someone else to keep track of which question I'm up to and tell me which question. I probably should actually have someone in TeamSpeak with me. From I Ain't No Rulefern. Okay, thank you. Is Dice Pokerback? No, I don't believe so. I didn't see it anyway. Did play the beginning of W3 spoil any of the plot of Witcher 2 for you? Anything that isn't painfully obvious? Not really. From what I'd already knew, certain characters were sort of, you know, there were hints of certain characters coming back. So I already kind of had heard something. And I kind of, when I was going through some of the story options, after a while, I started sticking my fingers in my ears and going la 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 and hitting the skip button. So hopefully I've got nothing too spoilerish in my head. Was it easy to make Orans? Same as the other games, to be honest. Does the game live up to its subtitle? Is it a wild hunt? The wild hunt definitely makes a showing. Thank you, Azure Amethyst. How much do you know how... Okay. How much money have I made from the tip jar? Oh god, it's over 150. Okay, craziness time is got to be over. But apparently not. Thank you, Kura. Right. So yes, the Wild Hunt makes an appearance, definitely. Pretty reasonably early on as well. How rare common are the lore books compared to Witcher 2? I don't remember finding books, but again, only scratching the surface of the game, really. And I didn't spend that much time in towns and cities. I spent most of my time in the wilderness, actually. So, Zoltan Chive has sent a question, which is, you know, appropriate. Thank you. Get on with the questions. Well, don't get on my case. You're the one distracting me. Get on with the questions. Are the traps better than in Witcher 2? Oh, right. I didn't craft any actual physical traps at all. What happens if Roach dies? If she can die at all? I don't know whether she can. She can get scared. When she gets scared, she will throw you onto your backside and run away. So you're on your own. So I think she can't die, but I think there's only so much aggravation she'll take before she dumps you on your backside and you're on your own, kind of thing, which is probably a good way around not having the horse dead. Can you slaughter an entire town's inhabitants? I didn't actually try that. That's not really my style. Thank you, Terrastrike. There should be a counter for tips so we can try and beat the score each stream. No, we really shouldn't do that. I'm hoping people will get over the novelty of this. Thank you, SC2. Well, I mean, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I put this up thinking it would be a few people tipping me. I'm guessing this is just because it's new. People like to press stuff that's new, don't they? Let's have a look. That's from Ventic. No. Do the areas level with you, or do they have fixed levels? From what I can see, they have fixed levels. So if you wander off to somewhere that is too tough, you're in trouble. And I did. I definitely went to places that were too tough. So am I going to play some games after this? I may take some of the guys on a quick Payday 2 or something. I'm not going to be playing anything new after this. This could be too late. Welcome, Kurok. Welcome to the fold. And thank you, Muhahahaha. Was I supposed to do the whole thank you from Muhahahaha? Thank you, Andre. Okay. Where was I? Triss in the game, you didn't show any footage of her. That's spoiler, so no. I'm not going to answer that question. Do you need to meditate to use potions? No, you do not need to meditate. Thank you, Magnificent Hamster and Dong Physics. As far as I know, no, there wasn't. So no, you don't need to meditate to use potions. You hotkey them, you can use them, and the potions have been made a lot more accessible so that you can use them during combat. They do not last as long. So it encourages you to use them more when you need them. You got to get them prepared, you got to get them filled, you got to get them set up. Thank you, Soul Angel 777. And you are encouraged to use them if you've got them. So you don't need to meditate to take them. One from another interruption. Very funny. Do you need to meditate to use potions? No, we already done that one. Does being able to take potions at any time lessen the feel of the combat compared to Witcher 2? No, not at all, because, I mean, I actually prefer being able to take potions anytime you wanted in Witcher 1. It's new, I pressed it. Thank you. 2 from Richard the Librarian. I'm getting donations from all my characters now. Okay. Gobbledygook. Thank you. Does being able to take potions at any time lessen the feel of on that one? Can you say Yusuf? No. Question. Are there different types of bolts for the crossbow? I didn't actually see any, but you know what? I wouldn't be too surprised if you can craft something like that. There was a crafting system I didn't even look at. Did I get a glimpse of the console versions? A really, really tiny glimpse, and they looked pretty similar, but I wasn't that close to them. Or did I get a glimpse of them? I might not have got a glimpse of them. There was something running on a machine, but it might have been a PC version. Actually, I don't know. I can't tell you for absolute sure. I'm afraid. So... Question. I can't believe my moderators put this in the list of questions. Do you check the questions, moderators? Question. How much witch could a witcher witch if a witcher could witch witch? Anything that was particularly special or something that was kind of odd feeling? Well, getting a $1 tip from Carjo was kind of odd. Thank you, Carjo. Anything that was particularly special? I tell you what was special and what really just made me jump out, thank you Nazim, was walking through doors into inns. That really did sort of, I was very surprised how good that felt. How amazing it felt the first time I did it. I went into an inn and I just pushed the door open, I walked in and I'm in the inn talking to everyone and it felt great. And then immediately after that, it stopped being great and became totally normal. Totally normal. And that is the sign of a brilliant mechanic. When you first look at something, oh my God, that's great. And then rapidly you forget it's there and it feels normal. I'm getting some Jack's whiskey now. When it becomes normal, it just means it worked perfectly. The problem with it feeling normal is when you go back to other games like Fallout or Skyrim and you get loading screens when you enter any building. Okay, now from Jazago, right? We're getting it from my followers as well. Oh, God. Hey. From Lydia. Oh, no, from Lydia. Okay. Right. Are the nude cutscenes going to prevent me from streaming the game on Twitch? I actually don't know. I didn't find any. How graphic are those scenes? Again, I didn't actually see them. I didn't see any. I'm not totally sure there's going to be as many. Not answering questions about Triss. Can you encounter bosses? Like the Karen randomly in the wild. I didn't really find any randomly in the wild, but I think some people did. I think some people did. I might be wrong. Is there a lot of the terrain climbable? It is, and yes, you can traverse anywhere basically. That comes from Nuke's Noodles 1. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, a lot of the terrain is traversable. It was amazing how far you can go. One of the very cool things is you can actually kind of snowboard down steep inclines. So if an incline is so steep that there's no way you can climb it, if you try and jump off it, but it's not a cliff, Geralt kind of slides down. He kind of balances and slides down a little bit, like he's snowboarding with his cat-like agility, and that can actually be a hell of a lot of fun. I found I'm giving myself tips now. Yes, I have now entered the realm of madness. See, even the videos are now stuttering more than they were. They're stuttering. Do you need to eat or sleep? Not that I could see, I'm afraid. I don't... You can eat, but it's to regain health. And you can hotkey food and take it to regain health. Can you buy different horses? Not that I saw. Not that I saw. What kind of merchandise did you get from your trip? And will it be sold to fans? I hadn't thought of selling any of it. I rather like it. I've got my medallion. Yennefer of Vandenberg. From Alduin, I forgive you. Yes, we're now just getting humorous donations, aren't we? Oh, God. And yet my network's gone completely... That's why I think the stutters are coming from the videos. I think. Let me just check, actually. Let me just double check my CPU usage. Oh, no, my CPU usage is going off the chart. Why would that be? I think my CPU usage... Thank you, Mr. Zealot 112. Okay. Let's have some more music. Yeah, the CPU usage just went completely nuts with the things I was doing on it. Don't know why. It's the raffle, right? Yes, a raffle. Raffle. Let's do the next raffle. And thank you, Merun's Dagon. Are you forgiving me as well? Draw. Congratulations, Barademaru. There you go. I can't answer anything about Cyberpunk 2077. Thank you, your voice is delicious. Okay. And then but this $1 from Moobot. Don't make me moo. Do not make me moo. Don't make me moo. I will moo you. There will be moo. You have been warned. The code is on its way. The code is on its way. Okay, opening a new CPU money. Yeah, you think I need a new... Actually, I think what I need to do is overclock my CPU. This is actually a pretty good CPU, but it isn't overclocked. $1. Veronica. Thank you, Veronica. So there you go. There is a new raffle. You may $5 from XCon Central. Okay. So, thank you. Can you hunt and skin animals? Oh, I don't know. I don't actually know. How does the combat compare to Shadow of Mordor? It's totally different. It's completely different. The Shadow of Mordor is monumental, monstrous killing of millions of things. Dead easily. Piece of cake. Witcher is way more like Dark Souls combat. You got to think about it. You got to try hard. You got to concentrate. You got to prepare. You know, even against drowners, you're going to fight drowners. You don't necessarily need tons of potions and stuff, but you must pay attention when fighting them at the higher difficulties. That's for sure. Rob, have we broken you yet? No, but you've definitely knocked me off balance. Thank you. Any romances? Geralt still a... Okay. Okay. Well, let's have a break. Let's have a 5-minute break. Yeah. Well, let's have a 5-minute break. I'll be back soon. I'm gonna get something to eat and a drink. I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Right. Raffle. Closing the raffle. Drawing a winner. Congratulations. Seal of Darkness. And thank you. Okay, really? You really wanted me to say, thank God. Okay. There we go. Gobble Mike Hawk. Oh, very amusing. Really? We're there now? And a new raffle is opened right now. Thank you, Geralt. Thank you very much. Right, let's soldier on. I'm going to go a little bit longer. I'm going on a little bit longer. Thank you, Sneaky Tip, because we still have a lot of questions. And see if I can get through them. Did I get to play as Siri? Unfortunately not. I did not get that far. Thank you, me. I did see some other people playing Siri, and I can tell you, she looks bloody powerful. Thank you, We Love Beards, and thank you, Loki, for resubscribing. Yeah, I can tell you, Siri does look powerful and fun to play, and thank you from I Must Break You. Did you encounter any of the previous buddies? No. If you mean buddies. I didn't get that far. Oh! No, wait! No, I did. I met Zoltan. I think I met Zoltan. I think it was Zoltan. I met one of my dwarven friends, or at least one of the dwarves I've met before. I think it was Zoltan. I think it was Zoltan. Pretty sure it was Zoltan. I've met a few dwarves in previous games, but I'm pretty sure it was Zoltan, my actual friend that I met. But not for long. It was a very brief encounter in a city, I think. Dear, here we go with the rude jokes. Will redkit come for using modding? Well, we've already answered that one, I'm afraid. $3.14 from Pi. Dear, dear. Can Geralt get drunk? I did not actually manage to do that. Thank you, Charlie. Did you like the map size? Yes, it was big. It was just very big. Was there a lot of graphic blood? Yes. I mean, there was blood. It did get over things. And here we go. We bend over again. Excuse me a second. I'm smelling burning. Oh, right. No, I know what that is. That's okay. Are we there yet? Yeah. Sound like my kids. How did the view feel for you? Pretty normal. What can I say about the music and sounds? Well, the music is superb. I go Schlongs of Skyrim. Okay. And the music is superb, and the audio in general is just great. You are over encumbered. Thank you very much. New tip. Oh, if you think about it, that could also be a new piece of advice, couldn't it? Excuse me, the burning smell is getting out of hand. Oh, I love you too. Lena? Okay, I can smell burning. Set some of the fire things off. Okay. Can Geralt's horse die? We've already had that one. I don't think so. And I didn't discover any Easter eggs. I'm seeing that question quite a lot. Do NPCs react to what is happening? Non-combat NPCs run to shelter from an attack. Reaction to weather. They did react to the weather. They did react to the weather. I saw that. Is there a dynamic system of bandits, monsters in attacking settlements? I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you, if there's an area taken over by bandits or monsters and you do clear that area, thank you, Lusty Argonian Maid, if you clear that area, you will get more people coming in. From Naff, Mary, Rods and OJ, thank you. So, is there a destroyable environment? Oh, good question. I don't know, actually. Not that destroyable. Go for it. How dark are the nights in the game? They're pretty easy to operate in. The nights are not that dark, but I think that's perfectly reasonable. Chelsea our champs. I think it's perfectly reasonable for Geralt to be able to pretty much see when it's nighttime because of his vision. I mean, he needs cat if you're going into some serious dark areas. Chivalry, medieval warfare. Is that a hint? Has the hardest difficulty permadeath? Iron Man. I don't know. Sithis the Dread Father, i.e. Gopher. Really, am I Sithis now? Radaway Incorporated. Yeah, some of the people who are new to my channel are trying to figure out what all these jokes are. They're jokes from my Let's Plays. In my Let's Play, The House is on Fire. Actually, I thought it was for a second. in my current Jack Let's Play, Radaway is rather hard to find, and every time I find Radaway, you'd think I'd won the lottery, which I pretty much have, because the stuff is rarer than gold. Depth after stream. I don't have depth installed anymore, I'm afraid. If I do anything after stream, it's probably going to be Payday 2, just because it's there. I don't want to start anything new. I've got loads of other games installed, actually. I'm going to try something new, but not at midnight. Are the monster spawns static? That I can't tell you. If you're drunk, can you be robbed while passed out? I don't actually know, but you can get robbed if you get beaten up by guards. Buy my book. Okay. I don't have a book, but... did you encounter more monsters or humans? Monsters. I discovered... No, there were plenty of times when I'd come across groups of 30 and 40 humans in a little gaggle after a battle or something. Or at least it felt like that. It felt like there were quite a lot of humans. But then you'd... From Bethra, thank you. Kingdom Come Deliverance, brilliant. I'm now being tipped by various different games. But because I did a lot of just running across empty areas trying to find things, I constantly found things. More often than not monsters. I'd say it was about equal. I fought more monsters. I didn't find very many human enemies. I found lots of humans who were friendly, or not friendly, but not wanting to kill me. 2.71 from E. Okay. Was there anything about Yorvith or Roche from what you played? No, I didn't see them. And I wouldn't tell you if I did. Spoiler. Sledgehammer. How fast the sword armor will degrade, and does it look damaged or broken? I don't know whether the sword looks broken in-game, but you get a little icon that tells you it's bloody broken. And it degraded reasonably quick, I think. I didn't notice one technical particular, the tessellation of the preview could... What? I didn't notice one technical particular, the tessellation on the preview. Could you tell me more about it? Thanks. No, sorry, I didn't really pay much attention to that either. How about bombs and other throwing? There are bombs. There are bombs. They can be thrown. They can be aimed. Did you get to use any of those half-hour potions? No. Most of the potions I used were very, very, very small. Short duration. Now my mods are sending me tips. Brilliant. Okay. Let me just check. So, one more question, then we'll give another raffle. Okay. How is the keyboard and mouse controls? As I said, I've tried them. I wasn't supposed to, but I tried them. Thank you, Cass. I tried them, but they weren't that keen on us recording it. It seemed fine from me. Is the camera movement frustrating during battles? Well, it was slightly frustrating for me purely because of the controller, but that's me. Epic Beard Society. That's me. I'm not a controller person. What happens if you go to the edge of the map? Is it an invisible wall? No, but I can tell you when I went to the edge of a swamp that was the edge of the map, it turns you around. Which was a little abrupt. It was a little abrupt. It just sort of turns you around. Right, let's do the other giveaway. We've closed. We're drawing. Congratulations, Brother John 1234. And it is sent. And I'm resetting and opening a new raffle right now. So, welcome Gritza. What up? We've done that one. How do the signs work? Immersion. I heard there are secondary modes. So did I. I didn't get that far, I'm afraid. Did you look at key rebindings? Again, no. I didn't get to play keyboards, so... Witcher 2 felt very scripted and linear as they took way too much control away from the player. Has that changed in the third game? Hell yes. It is open. It's an open world. And they don't mean that. This isn't... They haven't said, oh, it's an open world and just try to make it big or something and feel open. The thing's open. It's an open bloody world. It really is, just in the best sense of the word. Were there any new unique creatures in the game? I didn't get that far. Really, we were looking at, you know, things like drowners, wolves, ghouls. Oh, there were a few interesting ones that I don't want to spoil it too much, but that's some interesting attacks. I don't know if they were in Witcher 2 because I've not finished Witcher 2 yet. What's the time scale? Good question. Don't actually know. What level of survival? Sleeping, eating, thirst. Not that I saw. So there's no hardcore mode. But hey, my own mod is sending me multiple tips now. Or perhaps that was the Fallout New Vegas version and the previous one was the Skyrim version. Did I just answer your question? Do you want to build? Yes, I saw a question by do you want to build? Yes. Is there lots of loot available? I actually saw a bit of loot, but not that much. I mean, again, it's very hard to say. This is, I mean, if you think about most games, by the time you get through the tutorial, which I couldn't record, you get through the tutorial, you get through all the cutscenes, you go through the prologue area, and let's face it, the prologue area in this, in The Witcher, at least the Wild Hunt, is almost a secondary tutorial. It's an advanced tutorial. It's kind of the same in Witcher 2. I mean, I'm going through Witcher 2 right now, and the first, I'd say 8 episodes were almost an expanded tutorial where I'm learning all the basics from the game mechanics like dice, fist fights, trading, all of these things that you're learning. It's 4 or 5 hours just getting the basics done. And it was the same in Witcher 3 as well. So a lot of the, you know, what is the loot like at later levels is very hard to answer. And that is, I mean, that's what I've said. It's got all the ingredients. Everything looks great from the first 8 hours of play. But to really judge this game, I'm going to need at least, I think, at least 50 hours. You know me, I don't make my judgments early on. I think 50 hours to judge this game. Now, in previous Witcher games, that was getting close to the end. But from what I've heard, that is not the case in this game. And I believe it. I truly believe this game could, even if you don't do everything, even if you just do not do everything, you're probably going to be, well, what was it, 25 hours if you speedrun it? And that's speedrunning it. If you play it normally but don't do a lot of side quests, it's probably a 50-hour ordeal minimum. If you do side quests, and let's face it, most of us are going to. This thing's going to be massive. It's very hard. Are there any hidden random treasures in the world, Lahija? I don't actually know what you mean by treasures. If you mean items, I don't know. I didn't find any. But I wouldn't be too surprised if there are, because they do tend to like adding things like that. Desdemona Dreadless. You said when you were invited to the event you didn't understand why you were invited. Everyone else was so big. You thought it was something to do with your current Let's Play. Did you find out why you were chosen? Did you have a fan on the staff? No, I think it was I was probably one of the smallest channels, but there were 2 or 3 other channels that were as small as me. So I have a feeling they just had a list of channels they wanted and as they said yes. Probably like if Boogie had said yes, I wouldn't have got invited or something. Something like that. Did I have a fan on the staff? There is somebody in GOG who is a fan of mine and is the first fan I have ever met. So if he's watching, hello. He is the first fan I met. He tapped me on the shoulder while I was, I think it was day 2, it might have been day 1. And introduced himself, and that was the first time I met a fan ever. So, and there you go, ironically enough, works at GOG, which is in the same building. How much passive wildlife the game has and how much interactivity you have with them. I didn't check that. And I didn't check. Next question is there upgrades for items? And I didn't check that either. So, I noticed that Witcher Sense is red. Is there a friendlier version? No, that is not true. Witcher Vision gives you different things. If it's an item that's of note, it glows yellow. If it's a creature, you get a little kind of ping white effect. And if it's something you're tracking, like blood or footprints, it'll be red. So you get little color coordinations. Can you play as the girl mage from the start? I am not going to be telling you who and what you can play as and anything about starts and blah, blah, blah. I can tell you, you play Geralt, except for one short period where you play another character, who everyone knows. So let's do the next giveaway. Let's get this show on the road. Close, draw, High Flyer 108. Congratulations. Oh. And I've just accidentally sent him a blank congratulations. So I better. Okay. So now I'm going to send him the code as well. There you go. Congratulations, High Flyer. And I am going to reset and open a new raffle right now. Raffle is open. Question, how is the game on the PS4? I didn't try, I'm afraid. That I didn't get to try. How many of these keys do I have? I've got about another 10. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to give them away tonight. Talk about horse armor and saddles. I didn't see any changes that could be made there, but, well, that's not true. No. There was an inventory for your horse as well. I didn't get to experience that, though. I didn't get to play around with it, except putting trophies on your horse. But still, it's a thing. Okay. And the questions seem to be slowing down now, which is nice. A lot of them just seem to be... $1 from Cyber. That's one way to get questions across, isn't it? Cyberpunk 2077. They are keeping very tight-lipped about that game. Oh, now my moderators are now cracking jokes. iHood is a paying mod. As opposed to a paid-for mod. You don't pay for the mod pays for you. Hilarious. Okay, and Naf sat in a hotel room with Mary, and so that's why I got a joint... Okay, my moderators are getting as strange as the chat here. So, did I ask about the expansion pass? No, I actually didn't. So, that's kind of news that's out there, though, isn't it? Question, am I going to play? Of course I am. I'm going to finish Witcher 2 and then I'm going to play Witcher 3. There will be no break. Are there some ship or barge conveyors to travel? There is at least one ship journey that you must take to get to Skellige. And that, to me, I believe was the only... sort of loading screen you would talk about. Can Witcher 2 saves be imported to Witcher 3? I honestly think probably, but I didn't get the chance to test that out. So, okay. Anyway, guys, we've gone a little over time, and I am getting a little tired and I want to go off and relax for a little while. So I'm going to take a 5-10 minute break and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play a little Payday 2 with some of you guys if you want. I would play some of the new games I've got because I do actually have a whole lot of new games I want to try. But I generally have a rule that I don't try new games this late, purely because normally I'm slipping into a small coma, actually. And it is getting late, and of course, I have got to get up and get the kids to school tomorrow, I think. So, let me just have a look at the games I've got queued up for. Oh yeah, I want to play Talisman, Counter-Strike, Go, Homeworld Remastered, I've got that installed. Syndicate, can't believe I've got that. That's such an old game. Kitty Powers Matchmaker. Welcome back, Pegasicorn. And a few others that I have installed. I still got Robot Roller Derby Disco installed. I quite like that game. Shame there's no one playing it. And I have lots of games that I'm going to try and do Let's Plays on. I'm thinking about doing Alan Wake or The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I think The Vanishing of Ethan Carter sounds like it's really popular. So, yeah. But not now, not now. I don't want to start new games this time because you know what I'm like. Once I get past 11 o'clock, I start walking into walls and things. For those of you who caught the late night stream yesterday in Payday, I was losing the ability to speak, so it's not a good idea to start anything new. I'm gonna hang out with a few of you guys if you want to join me in TeamSpeak and go and shoot a few people in the face and cook some meth because I'm not in the mood for stealth. Well, I know I could be talked into it with Quadico, of course, but and yeah, Alan Wake. I might try Alan Wake. I've got it. It's time, isn't it, guys? It's time. It is time. Thank you very much, Wizard of Noobs. Thank you very much. Vanishing is excellent YouTube material. Yeah, Vanishing for me looks like an immersed Let's Play, definitely. I don't know how long or short it is. I'm looking for some short Let's Plays to slot in between Witcher and Fallout New Vegas. Added one more okay. Let's finish this raffle. Let's finish the raffle. Congratulations, KC Max 01. The code is on its way to you. And so, with that, I believe... Oh, God. I put my headphones back on and forgot, and then got that. Quadico for Stealth 2015. Quadico was awesome at stealth missions. She just is. I don't know why she panics about it. She's great at them. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this Q&A session for The Witcher, The Wild Hunt. I hope I managed to answer all of the questions, at least to the best of my abilities. And, of course, I will be playing the game when it comes out. Well, not exactly when it comes out. I'm going to finish Witcher 2 first. So join me for that if you want. If the red kit comes out, I will absolutely be hitting that very hard, checking it out, seeing what we can do, and waiting for mods to come out. And when mods for Witcher 3 come out, I will almost certainly be trying them out and giving them some coverage. So if you're interested in that, join me. Otherwise, for those of you who want to see me do some random crime in Payday 2, hang around. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Those of you who don't, remember I will be playing XCOM Long War next Friday, absolutely. And I will almost certainly do at least one random stream, well not random, Tuesday probably. And I'm probably going to pick a new game. I'm giving some thought to trying one of the games that people want me to play because it'll cause me actual pain. And perhaps one of the games that won't. So, and I really do want to try Counter-Strike Go sometime soon, so maybe this week as well. So we might get 2 new games this week, plus XCOM on Friday, and of course all the videos during the week. So, I don't moo on demand, Quadico. I do not moo on demand. Oh, there will of course be some live stream mod testing if I get time, and I'm hoping now after this is the last of this unusual series. I am going to go back to some semblance of normality, so I will be testing some more Skyrim mods. Maybe carrying on with Perma. I keep losing track of where the hell I am because I keep testing new things out. I've seen a few new Skyrim mods I would like to give a bit of a look at as well, plus some Fallout New Vegas mods. So I actually have the potential for quite a lot of mod testing this week. I'll have to see how much of it I get to at the same time as trying to get some Let's Plays out. So let's just see how much I get done. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I would love to see you again sometime. And until then, of course, have fun.